It's about to go down for all our foes. It's time to watch the greatest show. The round table flick brings all the news, all the heat for all the you, from Raw to Dynamite and SmackDown too. Now tune in and play some trivia too. The round table pro wrestling podcast is on, so tune in. The round table pro wrestling podcast is on, so tune in.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode number 47 of the Roundtable Network News. I'm the franchise player, Double B Bad. I am joined by my boy right there, Double J, Josh James, and Shane from Husky's Funhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, we are direct, and we are talking about all the news because guess what, boys? The news never stops here.
Never does.
It never does. And you know what? Let's start it out with something really cool. Okay, I mean, this is kind of a cool thing because, you know, in our Slack channel, we talk about it all the time. We actually joke about it all the time. You know, if someone posts the same story like 4 or 5 times, we always say it's a breaking news. But we got right here some real breaking news. As of 4 hours ago, courtesy of Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful Select, WWE's former women's champion signs a WWE Legends deal. And we're talking about former women's champion who recently signed a WWE Legends deal, none other than Kelly Kelly. I don't remember her being a women's champion in WWE, though.
She's a former Divas champion.
That doesn't count. But yeah,
it actually does. I'm sorry to say.
Former WWE Divas champion that last appeared on WWE television in 2022 in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Prior to that, she appeared in the 2020 and the 2018 Women's Royal Rumble match. Kelly Kelly. Kelly was also part of a 20-woman battle royal at the inaugural women-only WWE Evolution event that happened October 2018. They're going to be bringing that back, by the way.
I like that.
She signed with the company back in May of 2006. She started her career at Ohio Valley Wrestling before she got called up to the main roster of the ECW brand. Kelly
his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, Kelly defeated Brie Bella in June of 2011 to capture her only WWE Divas Championship before losing the title 4 months later to Beth Phoenix at Hell in a Cell. She was released from her WWE contract back in 2012. Jeez, she is a former model. She has since done some reality TV work, some acting, and some other ventures, but she is now signed to the WWE with a WWE Legends contract.
I think it's awesome that Kelly Kelly is getting a Legends contract. I mean, like, she wasn't the best wrestler, but the one thing is I could say about her is that she is very respected and remembered very well. Yeah. During the WWE ECW days, and I can't think of anything bad that she's ever did in wrestling. So,
you know, we were just talking about this last night. On the Raw, after the Raw recap about Kelly Kelly doing the Jerry Springer thing on Raw, where she was the baby. she was having a baby, and it was Hornswoggle, and but yeah, it was actually pretty cool. I'm glad to see that WWE is doing some really cool stuff with Kelly Kelly. Shout out to her, man.
You know what that means? That means she could be in a future 2K wrestling game.
Very true.
I mean, that could be.
And also, we forgot to mention she's also a former 24/7 champion too.
Oh, who's not? Shane was 24/7 champ for like 2 minutes. I know, Josh. I know you were like 5 times 24/7.
No, Shane never won the 24/7 title because he never
did.
He never beat me for the belt.
I mean, Shane is 1-0 still in wrestling. You know.
I mean,
that's true. That's
true. Speaking of 1-0, he has a better record than Charlotte Flair in real life.
Wow.
Also, courtesy of The Takedown, backstage heat on Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton after a SmackDown segment that went off script last week. So it looks like last Friday's promo exchange between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown was reportedly not well received backstage. This is courtesy of Rick Cucino, Sports Illustrated. Fans tuning in to watch Friday Night SmackDown may have noticed in real time, but the promo exchange between the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair did not go down as planned. The WrestleMania 41 competitors had an in-ring segment that commentators Wade Barrett was there. It didn't take long before all things had spiraled out of control. a raunchous Chicago crowd was doing the best not to let the Queen get a single word in, and at times it seems as though Charlotte was off her game. I gotta admit, Charlotte did seem a little bit off in that promo. She's kind of been a little bit off since she's came back, honestly. Instead of fighting over the noise, Flair often deferred to her time to Stratton, which allowed Tiffany to sling a number of very personal barbs. Okay. We talked about this the last couple of days. I think it's just very fucking funny. Many believe the line that was crossed was when Tiffany referred to Charlotte's recent divorce from SmackDown superstar Andrade, and she said she continued to be all alone after WrestleMania. Flair quickly responded by asking why Ludwig Kaiser, Tiffany Stratton's significant other, was hitting her up in the DMs on social media. Those were the final words of the segment, ended with Tiffany Stratton walking back up the ramp with her WWE Championship in hand. The WWE will go on to edit the digital version of their promo, but the full exchange can still be heard on WWE on the USA YouTube channel. So John Alba said this, by the way, at Sean Ross Sapp's report here is accurate, and I was told the situation was extremely contentious after the segment, including the higher-ups. The end of the segment very much went off the rails completely. Very curious if these are going to be some serious ramifications to their WrestleMania plans. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was really funny for Charlotte Flair to sling those barbs and Tiffany Stratton, who, if we talk about a week earlier, when they had their face-to-face, Tiffany Stratton looked lost. She looked like a deer in the headlights, like she didn't know what she was doing there. This week, or this last Friday, she laid the smackdown, literally, the smackdown on Charlotte Flair when she said, and I quote, Charlotte, you're going to be alone after WrestleMania, but you should be used to that because you're 4-3 at Mania, but you're 0-3 in life. That's reference to Charlotte Flair's 3 divorces. It was just so funny when she said that. Like, I mean, it's pretty sad that had to be said. But I mean, come on, look. Sometimes,
go ahead.
Sometimes the best promos are the most personal.
Hey, you know what's even funnier? When she said that Ludwig Kaiser is in her DMs, everybody, man and woman, don't believe Charlotte. Like, some people would say, like, oh, he's a cheater, or accusing him as cheater. Nah, Ludwig, they're just like, Charlotte, calm down, lady, calm down.
Because you know why? Ludwig has morals. That's
why. I don't know about his morals, but I do know it was funny as hell because recently on Tiffany Stratton's Instagram page, she had posted a picture on Instagram, and in the comments, Ludwig Kaiser hits her up in the DMs. He was like, "Hey Tiffany, check your DMs." With a heart and a flame. It was so fucking funny. They're playing into it. I love it. I love it, man. I love seeing stuff like that because it's so goddamn funny.
And you know what would even be funnier? If the match happens with Charlotte and Tiffy, and Ludwig Kaiser helps Tiffy win the match.
That would be funny.
Since it's now, like what Shane said last week, or I should say last night too, it is now officially canon that Ludwig and Tiffy are a couple.
Yeah, they pretty much made it like official.
Like they're not even hiding it anymore. They're just like, all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, from that story, let's talk about this. Courtesy of Andrew Thompson from Post Wrestling. Peter Avalon, one half of PP Ray, a good friend of mine. Peter Avalon's a good dude. Wrestled him a couple times in SoCal. Very nice guy, very talented. AEW really shit the bed with not giving this guy and the Wingmen like a proper run. But
I agree.
Peter Avalon recovering from shoulder surgery.
Oh, congratulations.
This is courtesy of Peter Avalon's PP all day. PP all day on Instagram. Avalon says, I've had surgery on April 1st. Taking to social media, Peter Avalon revealed he underwent surgery and he is now he's now healing. He said he wrote the following. I had shoulder surgery last Tuesday and the sling I'm wearing is driving me loco.
My bad.
Avalon has been in the midst of his 16 years as a professional wrestler. His last documented about was December 2024. He had been wrestling for AEW since 2019 to 2022. After 2022, he became a free agent, but he was still doing, one-offs for AEW. He's completed. He competed for the company multiple times since his talent deal has expired.
Wow.
So shout out to Peter Avalon, get well soon guy. Much love and respect to that guy. He is definitely one of the best wrestlers on the indie scene today.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Met him a couple of times when with WCWC Wrestling, the company that you and I both used to work at. Really nice guy to talk to, and he was really cool.
Pretty Peter Avalon. Let's go from one independent wrestling superstar to another one. Well, two actually. Calvin Tankman.
Oh, my boy.
And Kid Bandit made their debut for Pro Wrestling 01.
Oh, that's a good
Tankman and Bandit are headed to Japan. I wrestled for 01 in the United States before. It's pretty cool. Pro Wrestling 01 promotion is a Japanese promotion that pushed out the announcement that both Calvin Tankman and Kid Bandit are scheduled to debut on May 3rd. So I'm happy for them. That was 5 days ago. No, May 3rd is coming up. What am I talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Tankman and Bandit were personally invited by 6-time 01 World Heavyweight Champion, my good friend, the man who knocked the tooth out of my mouth, Masato Tanaka, with that roaring elbow. Tankman is inching closer to tallying up a decade as a wrestler. He has been featured in Deadlock Pro Wrestling, which Shane actually introduced me to. GCW, the Wrestling Revolver, NWA, MLW, and a multitude of other promotions. Bandit returned to the ring in 2025 after being away from the ring since 2023. That was due to some personal issues, cyberbullying, and all that other bullshit that happens in professional wrestling. But good luck, guys, because Japan is a whole new beast. It is not like the United States.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, and Kid Bandit, I've talked to her a couple of times here and there when she's available. Like, I'm extremely happy. This makes me happy for her. And I always felt like Japan is her place. Like, I don't know why, but just for me, like, for what I've seen with her ring skills and how she wrestles, I always thought Japan would be the place for her.
I think
they're going to make it big in Japan.
I think Kid Bandit will excel in Japan. That right there, I believe that.
Same with Calvin Tankman, the big boy.
Yeah, dude. Definitely, yeah, for sure.
That's my guy.
Yeah, and Kid Bandit, that's my girl. I'm very happy for her. I'm happy for both of them. And this is just good news for independent wrestling in general. Like, I feel like this is like good news for anybody else. But I'm very happy for them, and I hope if it's available to watch, I would love to watch it.
Same.
Well, speaking of Japanese wrestling,
my,
courtesy of Andrew Thompson from Post Wrestling, let's talk about Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Coming to Texas all in week, July 13th in Dallas, Texas. You're gonna have Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. I'm saying that 5 times fast. The second week in July is going to be feature a slate of in-ring action set for the state of Texas. Tokyo Joshi Pro is joining them in the mix. They'll be running the 3 shows in the state that week. On July 10th and 11th, they'll be running shows at Post Houston. And then July 13th, they'll be in Forney, Texas, which is part of Dallas-Fort Worth, the Metroplex. July 12th, the day is AEW's All In at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. AEW has a relationship with Tokyo Joshi Pro that was formally established about several years ago. So what that means to me is AEW has been doing what I said they look. Let's talk about AEW for a second. I really didn't want to get into them right now, but I'm going to. AEW has an opportunity. Ring of Honor has been pulled from WrestleMania week. Tony Khan doesn't want to compete. I thought that was a stupid ass idea because Ring of Honor doesn't have a lot of eyes on it. And as someone who's wrestled like 13 shows in one weekend at WrestleMania week with thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people from around the world watching, that right there should have been enough for Ring of Honor to stay put at WrestleMania week. Do a show Friday night before WrestleMania. You're going to have everybody and their mom there.
You think
do it Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Do it Saturday morning like NXT does. Do it Sunday morning before night 2 of WrestleMania. But you could have did a pay-per-view there. You could have had thousands upon thousands. upon thousands of people, but they didn't do it. But
if you wanted more eyes on a program or a wrestling company that I know Tony Khan is trying to do with Ring of Honor, WrestleMania weekend is perfect to do because, like you just said, there's going to be so many people. There's going to be so much wrestling that weekend, and if you're the promoter or booker, you would probably want your show to be part of WrestleMania weekend. And I think Ring of Honor, it's not like it used to be, but maybe like WrestleMania weekend could be that level to bring it back up again. Maybe
isn't that like Ring of Honor Supercard that they normally do during Mania week?
It's like Supercard of Honor.
Yeah, that's what it is. And they always sell out because it was during Mania. They'll bring a whole bunch of people in.
I don't know why they're not doing that, but it's just I feel like they should. Like, I get if they're not going to do an AEW show, but Ring of Honor, I believe it could do very well for WrestleMania weekend.
Look, let me put you this way: right now, during WrestleMania week this year in Las Vegas, we have
going on.
We have Game Changer Wrestling. We have Future Stars of Wrestling. We have about 47 local promotions. Pride Style Pro Wrestling is going to be there.
Wow.
DPW.
So, you got Billy Blade and the Micro Mini Midget Tour. And these are like, look, they're literally when I wrestled at WrestleMania week at that time in Florida, there were 47 wrestling shows going on in 2 days. 47 wrestling shows. Okay. So AEW, I felt like if they're going to do something big, they should do something big. Well, AEW listened because AEW's All In is like their WrestleMania.
Yeah.
All In. I thought it was like All In was the first show. All In is like their WrestleMania. So AEW is doing a WrestleMania week. They're doing like their own mini WrestleMania week. AEW All In Texas is having shows. Okay. So they're going to be doing shows. AEW has All In. It has a live Dynamite. It has a live AEW Collision. They'll both be in Garland, Texas. Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor will also be at the Esports Stadium, the site of the pre-AEW All In residency show last summer. So they got that. Now they got Joshi Pro, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Conrad Thompson's StarCast convention is going to be there in the Chicagoland Theater. Like, dude, they have so much stuff going now, and that's smart. They're announcing all of these things. So we got Dynamite on Wednesday, Collision on Thursday, StarCast on Friday and Saturday, Death Before Dishonor on Friday at 7 p.m., AEW All In Texas at 2 p.m. Oh, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events. And then they have Tokyo Joshi Pro. That's 7 events going on that week. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of like Dallas, Texas indies. I know that the OIWA they run Dallas in the Dallas Metroplex area. So I'm pretty sure that OIWA is going to be doing something with I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing something with Sword Championship Wrestling that week too. Dude, there's so many ways to get so many eyes on so many. It's just crazy. If you don't do something like that, you are really stupid. And I'm glad AEW decided to listen to the fans. Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes they do because that booking of the last pay-per-view was not
that pay-per-view. Yeah,
they listen.
Yeah, crazy. But talking about Japan, let's talk about Meiko Satomura. Okay, this is courtesy of Andrew Thompson, also from Post Wrestling. We got a lot of news from Andrew Thompson today.
Yeah,
Meiko Satomura is still undecided about who her last opponent will be for her retirement match. She don't know if it'll be a singles match or a tag team match. She is still undecided. The near 30-year career of Meiko Satomura is coming to an end on April 29th. It's going to be at the Sendai Girls Pro Wrestling Promotion, which is co-ran by Satomura, who is hosting her retirement match, and it is taking place in the legendary Korakuen Hall. Korakuen Hall has been like a spotlight for so many places, so many wrestling shows. But Satomura is still undecided who she's going to face in about, and she shared this information with Tokyo Sports. She added that she has yet to decide if it'd be a singles match or a tag team match, and these are her words. I thought I would be able to see it about 3 months ago, but I still can't see it. The least thing, it's less than a month away into my retirement match, but I still can't see it. I want to carefully select the wrestler I will entrust my future to and then make a decision. I still don't know if it'll be a singles match or a tag team match. In March, she dropped the Zendaya Girls Women's World Championship to Shirahiro Hashimoto. The idea of doing a rematch for her final match was suggested, but she said she still couldn't see it happening. So I'm just gonna be honest, man. I have so much going on in my own wrestling career. Like, I'm trying to decide who's going to be the person I wrestle my retirement match at the end of the year. I don't know. Like I have a couple people in mind, but I don't know. So I mean, I get it, and I really like even right now. Like I wrestled 2 weeks ago, in a nice lucha show. A couple hundred people in the audience. It was a great show. It was so much fun. We got Roundtable Pro Wrestling coming up. So I don't know who my last opponent is going to be. I can't even see me having my last official match. It's weird to think that because after that last match, I was like, dude, I feel like I'm in the prime of my life right now. I felt really good. Usually it's like a lot of soreness, but yeah, there wasn't a lot of soreness then. Speaking of soreness, Mary from Georgie's Bar and Grill is giving me a call, so we can't talk to her until the show's over. Anyway, point of the matter is, I understand what she's talking about. She has a couple matches. April 15th will mark the anniversary of Sanamora's in-ring debut. She debuted in 1995. She is going to be in action for Zendaya's Girls on April 12th. Then at Stardom for the All-Star Grand Kingdom on April 17th. Satomura is going to be in a 6-woman tag team match there. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of like, I don't know if I'm going to do this or not. And then boom, it happens. Like I said, you don't know. My last match, it might just be the match I go out there, wrestle, and then take my boots off. Who knows? I won't know until I feel it and I understand how she feels.
Yeah. Speaking of like retirement matches, I actually, and again, this has not been confirmed. This is just a rumor for what I've heard. And I know we don't really talk about rumors, but I wanted to talk about this too. It has to do with Sabu. I heard about he's going to be having his retirement match at GCW. It might be announced this Sunday for People versus GCW at the Hammers. Oh, never mind. That already happened. But I found out that Sabu might be having his official last retirement match at GCW. And I think, but for you, Blood, it's just like you had a long career, and
at this point, had a long career. Like I'm dead. Like I'm
no, you're not there yet.
He had a long career.
You have
Poor guy.
No, I said you have. I didn't say you had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but it's just that, like, when the right time is. When it. Right?
That's what I'm saying. You will know. Like,
yeah.
Like it's hard to really like explain, but you'll know.
Yeah, you'll know when the right time comes.
Homicide. I had a conversation with Homicide the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I just ever since he retired, he was like one of my mentors. You know what I mean? Good friend, great guy. Like I can go to him with anything. D's the man. So we had this conversation. I'm going to read you just a little bit from the conversation because it kind of like it kind of makes a little. I got a lot of messages. Apparently my voicemail is full, so I gotta go through and delete some. So the conversation goes like this. Bro, what's going on? He says, not much. I have a bunch of concussions. Getting on the plane and can't do that. I did it more than 10 times. I said, shit, bro. I'm sorry. He says, as of right now, I'm having faith issues. Hoping everything will be okay. I might come back, but it could be like 2 years from now. Focus right now on my agent stuff. This was a while back. Plus, I got a broken nose. It never healed. I need to get surgery. I said, damn. He says, I'm fucked up, but very positive. Not going to lose. I said, I got you, homie. I will always pray for you. He said, thank you. I said, bro, no thanks needed. We're family. So then I texted him on Monday just to check on him. He's like, I said, hey, man, how you doing? He said, mentally, I'm dead. I said, he goes, not getting surgery until April 25th.
Oh, boy.
Sometimes when it's time to stop, and it really sucks because I didn't want to quit, but I didn't. I had to stop, and I said, "You didn't quit. You did what's best for you mentally, physically, and emotionally." And he said, "You always come with the positivity, blood. I love it." So, like I said, he knew. Like he knew. He's just like, "Yeah, man. I'm not really digging it right now. I gotta take some time for myself. I'm not, I'm not 100%." And D is like this. Homicide's like this, man. He's not one of those guys that's gonna go out there and wrestle at 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. If it ain't 200%, he ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So there are guys like in this industry, like Tex Thompson. I'm just gonna call out to Tex Thompson. When you know your time has come and you should stop wrestling, he didn't do that, and he's basically made himself look really bad. I don't want to be that guy either. I don't want to be out there taking the spotlight from somebody who's way better and who's in better shape and who can continue to go. There are guys that are like don't want to let go of the spotlight, and there are guys that need to let go of the spotlight. And I think Sabu is getting to the point where he's like, dude, I've been hurt so many times. Like you can only go so long. A lot of veterans will say they're a bump, but we have a number of bumps. We have what's called a bump card. Sometimes that bump card gets full, and you're just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not taking no more bumps.
Undertaker's also a good example about stuff like this. He has said it in the past, like, I want to go back, but I even know that my body can't handle, the bumps anymore. In my mind, it's telling me, oh, I can handle it. I could do that. But in reality, I know I can't.
Yeah.
And we've seen Undertaker's not so pretty bumps over the years.
Yeah.
When you start taking bumps and they're not like safe, you're not only not safe for yourself, but you're not safe for the people you're in the ring with. And that's the thing. So let's talk about some people and their kids. Booker T.
About Nick Wayne?
No, Booker T. Let's talk about Booker T. Booker T responds to Swerve Strickland. Okay, look, man.
Our favorite topic.
Everyone knows I don't like Booker T.
You don't? Wow.
But I gotta respect the man for his in-ring ability. Booker T was a goddamn good wrestler. He stepped away, became a commentator, became a horrible commentator because he is a horrible commentator. Horrible commentator. Yeah. He literally makes. I don't watch NXT because of him. Like,
that's fair.
He's a horrible commentator. As a wrestler, great, but he did a little thing on his Hall of Fame podcast where he was responding to comments made by Booker T. By Swerve Strickland. Now, here's the thing. I dislike a lot of people in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I'll shoot on them a little bit. Sometimes I get a little testy, but
no, you never do that, blood. You never do that.
Never.
Me and Shane FT, we've seen you in the ring. You are the nicest guy in the ring. You never hurt.
You don't call anybody out.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, they're full of shit. But Booker T on his radio show responded to Swerve Strickland's remarks. Swerve came on at AEW's Dynamite or AEW's Dynasty's media scrum and basically was like F Booker T. To a live crowd in Philadelphia. F Booker T. Okay. What did that do for Swerve? Nothing. Because that night, if you were scrolling on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, you're scrolling on Blue Sky, Facebook, Friendster, MySpace, Tinder, fucking FarmersOnly.com, wherever. If you were scrolling, the thing that was trending was Booker T. So Booker T said the same thing. He said, maybe you should keep my name out your mouth, especially at a post-media scrum where you just basically what it boils down to is if people were like, yeah, man, Swerve Strickland was right about Booker T. Yokozuna told me this one time. I was really depressed about some negativity that was going on in the wrestling industry around the time I was kind of breaking in. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, good press or bad press, at least they're talking about you.
True.
And I was like, what does that even mean? What it boils down to is simply this. Shane Swerve Strickland put over Booker T without even realizing he was putting over Booker T. So you took all the attention off of you in the main event pay-per-view that you challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship, and you made it all about Booker T.
You think he would have brought up, like, you know, he's going to get back at the Bucks for costing him the world title, or he's going to get his revenge on the Bucks? But no, he made it all about Booker T.
I would have been like, F you, Bucks. Not F Booker T. Hey, everybody, go talk about Booker T. Like, that makes no sense. You basically put over another man that you really despise. So, I don't know.
I think it's pointless. It's kind of stupid. I mean, I get like if you don't like the guy, I get if you don't like him, but you're literally putting him over on a show that he's not even on.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It was like WWE saying, we're going to air the CM Punk footage. AEW. We're going to air the CM Punk footage. When CM Punk was like, dude, I'm literally number one in AEW and number one in WWE at the same time, bro.
That was really dumb.
He pulled the Rick Rude, showing up on Nitro and Raw at the same time.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what he did.
And what did that do for AEW? It just made the fans love Punk even more.
Yep.
It goes back to Eric Bischoff saying, hey guys, if you want to know what's going on Monday Night Raw, Mick Foley just won the world championship. So what did everybody do? Turned off Nitro to turn on Raw to watch that. So
that was
yeah. I thought it was stupid. I wanted to bring it up because I saw it, and that was courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider. Yeah, it's just stupid. Speaking of Dynamite, let's talk about tomorrow's lineup for AEW Dynamite. This is courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider. AEW announced that tomorrow's Dynamite will be in Baltimore, Maryland, live on TBS and on HBO Max. We have the Owen Hart tournament, Chris Statlander versus Thunder Rosa. AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm to appear on commentary for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament bout between Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa. We have Samoa Joe and Hook taking on Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli. I'm pretty sure we'll hear from Swerve Strickland. We'll probably hear from the Bucks. But yeah, that looks like AEW Dynamite. We will be live watching Dynamite tomorrow, as well as wrestling trivia. You know, hopefully Tony Khan. Maybe? Yeah, the Jobber edition of trivia. Oh my god,
the Jobber edition of trivia.
Yeah. Since we're talking about AEW, let's talk about WWE. WWE's Monday Night Raw on Netflix numbers from March 31st. 2,900,000.
Dang.
5,900,000 hours viewed. Their views from the 17th were 3,100,000. From March 10th, it was 3 million across the board. March 3rd, 3,100,000. February 24th, 2,600,000. February 17th, 2,800,000. February 10th, 2,800,000. So on the road to WrestleMania, they're fluctuating up and down. Their highest numbers, the highest numbers they had so far were 5,900,000 views. January 6th edition, the debut on Netflix, and they had 17,700,000 hours of views of that one episode. So I mean, yeah, they're fluctuating a lot.
They're still doing good numbers.
Yeah, they are doing that. But that was courtesy of Kendall Jenkins from PW Insider, by the way. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot of good stuff going on. Wrestling is, like I said, the news never stops, man. Like things are popping off, and look, some good things, some bad things. Mm-hmm. Kelly getting the signed the WWE Legends contract, that was a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Now I'm gonna go to a bad thing.
Oh, geez.
A bad thing.
Courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider. The following press release was issued. Professional wrestling spectacle to take over Funkner's Kitchen Sports Bar, April 18th to 21st. Headlined by who? Nikki Bella. Okay, so look, let's talk about this for a second. It says here Nikki Bella to have a secret speakeasy in Vegas WrestleMania weekend. But guess what? It ain't such a fucking secret if WrestleMania weekend is 2 weeks from now and I'm reporting it right now. Not much of a secret.
It is not.
So Las Vegas, Nevada, at the world's most anticipated professional wrestling spectacle takes over Las Vegas. Faulkner's Kitchen and Sports Bar, located at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, just steps away from the big, illustrious Allegiant Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Raiders, by the way. It is set to go to hub for wrestling fans. Throughout the weekend, Friday, April 18th through Monday, April 21st, Faulkner's Kitchen and Sports Bar will roll out the line of fan experiences and excitement beyond the ring. Advanced reservations are highly recommended, and you can get those at faulknery.com. The festivities kick off on Friday, April 18th with the watch party hosted by the Divas, Barbie Blank, Kelly Kelly, and Danielle Monet, otherwise known as Summer Rae. Offering fans the last chance to see the wrestling superstars in action before the main event on April 19th and April 20th. The table reservations for Friday, April 18th will include a meet and greet as well as autographs and photos with the Divas, guaranteed seating with 365-degree view of a state-of-the-art screen. The Divas will enjoy lucky VIP fan interaction during a watch party. It's a one-of-a-kind experience. It is available to purchase at www.faulknery.com. Doors open at 4 p.m. But before that, if you want to go Sunday, April 20th, the Faulkner Standout Brunch includes decadent Dubai chocolate pancakes with pistachio cream. Sounds gross to me. But yeah, so apparently Nikki Bella is going to be hosting a speakeasy, and I don't know. I'm not excited about Nikki Bella.
I'd rather see Kelly Kelly and Summer Rae meet and greet instead of a.
I would too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I get that some fans like Nikki Bella. I don't get why. Even Mr. Bones doesn't even know why. But
that's because he can look, but he can't touch.
That probably. But the thing is like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't get it.
I don't care about Nikki Bella at all.
I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know.
She's trying to stay relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, she said that she opened the gate for women's wrestling. Like,
yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, she's the one that opened the gate for women wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But let's talk about some other stuff that might be interesting. Courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider, Triple H is to appear on the Tonight Show. WWE's Triple H appears on Tonight Show edition of the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon on NBC, obviously to promote WrestleMania 41. So yeah, Triple H on the Tonight Show. WWE is becoming very much a global juggernaut, not just for wrestling but entertainment in general. I mean, you got WWE guys in movies, you got them in video games, you got them Call of Duty. We had Mommy and Cody Rhodes, like just branching out all over the place. It's awesome. I thought Shane was going to have something smart to say about Call of Duty, but thank you, Dave. Thank you, Shane, for not doing it. Yeah.
He's like, I'm in the mood for it.
Yeah. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the show on this note. Professional wrestling is a great way to entertain the masses. Mm-hmm. It's also dangerous. What we do in the ring is nothing to joke about.
Nope.
Sometimes we get hurt. Sometimes we hurt someone. The safety of others in the wrestling ring is virtually the most important thing. If you were watching Monday Night Raw last night, you heard a comedian by the name of Todd Hinchcliffe make fun of Big E Langston. Yeah. Courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider, former WWE champion Big E responded to a tasteless, in my opinion, joke about his broken neck on last night's Monday Night Raw from comedian Tony Elshkin, who remarked on commentary that the only thing stiffer than the announcer Michael Cole's barbs was Big E's neck. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And the guy wasn't even funny either. I wanted him off of the commentary. Like,
yeah, he was horrible. So on the Raw Recap podcast, Big E responded by saying this: I guess at my big age of 39 years old, people will say what they want about you. The opinion of you is not, has nothing to do with me. It is not my business. Look, say what you want. He was given the mic. He was given an opportunity. People will feel how they want to feel. It's just that's a lot of discourse. Oftentimes, as a public figure, people will say things about you, whether they're jokes, whether they're not. And that's their right. I think that the one thing is, and I get like I'm on here. I said on the show I'm supposed to talk, especially when things are mentioned about me. I should have had an opinion on that. It is tiring to have to weighing in on everyone's opinion of whatever they say. Look, I'm not hurt. I'm good. I want the discourse to be had without me. Honestly, I really have no desire to weigh in on this. I didn't sign up for this. I wasn't aware of this. He did what he wanted to do. People signed off on it. I had nothing to do with it, truly. Big E Langston wrestled last March 2022. He has since then worked on it as an on-air camera guy. His work on camera broadcasting for WWE, as well as picking up acting and voice gigs on Peacock, Lade, and Disney's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, among other projects. I'm going to say this. Big E's right.
Mm-hmm.
People do have freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
But like me and Julian always say, just because you have freedom of speech, you need to remember you also got freedom to get an ass whooping.
Yep.
Because that was blatant disrespect. You don't ever joke about something like that. As someone in this industry, you don't joke about something like that. I love Travis Scott. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing a pair of Travis Scott Jordan 1s right now. But Travis Scott got a receipt coming before he did to Cody.
Oh yeah, he got a
Just
major.
call that what it is. He got a receipt.
Major receipt.
And if Cody's anything like me, I don't hand out receipts because I own the register.
I'm going to quote what Brandon, our friend Brandon, actually said one time. You may have freedom of speech, but that doesn't give you the right to be an asshole about it.
Facts. So
Man.
I'm very disappointed in that guy. I would never watch any of his comedy because he fucking is not a good person.
I have no interest.
Horrible person.
Yeah. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, remember, be nice to each other because at the end of the day, you're all that you got. Have a good day, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.